My favourite book is The Van by Roddy Doyle. It's about two friends who set up a business, and of course there's great excitement with the setting up the business, but of course once it starts, everything starts going wrong. It really tests their friendship, but it's a hilarious story. It's really, really funny and well worth a read if you have the time.
Hi everyone. One of my favourite books at the moment is a book by Charlie Mackesy called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. I expect most of you have dipped into this book, and that's why I like it so much, because you don't really need to read it from cover to cover. It's something you can dip in and dip out of if you're feeling happy, if you're feeling sad. This book is a really, really feel-good story, and I thought I'd just share with you one of my favourite parts, especially during this last year. When the dark clouds come, keep going. I think that's a fabulous message for all of us.
My all-time favourite book is Sidney Sheldon's Master of the Game. First read the book probably about 35 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. Over the years I've recommended it to loads of family and friends, and everyone that has read it thought the same as me. They absolutely loved it. So if anyone watching this video would like to borrow the book off me, feel free to ask. You won't be disappointed.
Hi guys, Mr. Williams here, just to tell you about my favourite book. One of the first books I read. There's a film based upon the book. The film and the book are both called Jaws. The book is by Peter Benchley, the one with the shark. If you think the film is scary, I really do think you should read the book. Fantastic. Let's just say a tad bit scarier. Enjoy.
My favourite book is Twilight, written by Stephanie Meyer. It's about a teenage couple who fall in love. Bella Swan and Edward Cullen. But there's one twist. Edward is a vampire. I love how the book describes the state of Phoenix, very similar to South Wales. This is how I connected with the book. And one of the main reasons I went to the college, I went to Cross Keys College in Newport, was because the scenery looked like Twilight. So that is how much I love the book. So yeah, that's my favourite book.
My favourite books are the Lord of the Rings trilogy because of the depth of the lore, and I'm a huge fan of the films too.
My favourite book is The Handmaid's Tale because I really enjoy reading about dystopian societies, and I enjoy comparing them to reality.
Hello, this is a book that literally changed my life. I won this in a competition when I was 12, and it is literally bigger than my head.
So this is my favourite book. It's Life by Richard Fortey. I really like this book because it's a non-fiction text. I much prefer to read non-fiction to fiction, just because I'm really nerdy about biology.
My favourite book is The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I really enjoyed this book because I find codes and deciphering different messages really intriguing. It has a great plot twist to it and kept me second guessing the whole time that I was reading it.
Hi, it's Mrs. Pierce. My favourite novel is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I always loved reading, but when I read this, it took my passion of reading to a whole new level. The love story is amazing, and it's a real book about a woman coming of age. I highly recommend it.
Hi everyone, just talking about one of my favourite books, 1984 by George Orwell. Certainly the themes of an individual fighting against an oppressive and corrupt system is as relevant now as it's ever been. Take care, well worth a read, just don't get carted off to room 101.
Shwmai bawb, fy hoff lyfr I ydy Harry Potter a Maen Rathronydd, oherwydd ei bod hi'n hudolus magical ac dwi wrth fy modd gyda dreigiau.
Hello, it's Miss Williams. My favourite text is a play called Blood Brothers by Willie Russell. The reason I love this play so much is because of the big twist at the end.
Hi, my favourite book is Tess. Pushing the chain of the idea. You've read the book.
Hello. It's really difficult actually to decide on my favourite book. I think it's a little bit like songs. You have so many different favourite songs and favourite books because they remind you of different memories you have. I would say when I think about my favourite book, one of the ones that comes to mind is a book actually that I studied when I was in school, about probably year 9, and it was a book called I Am David by Anne Holm, and it was a story about a young boy who escapes from a concentration camp with the help of a prison guard. I loved the book, I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend you reading it. So that's what my favourite book is. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Hi everyone. Very difficult to choose a favourite book when I've read hundreds and hundreds of books over the years of many different types. Plus I still read every single day at the moment. But the book that I've actually chosen is a book by Dan Brown, who is better known for his Robert Langdon books and films in terms of Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons and so on. But this is a standalone novel called Deception Point, which was written about sort of 20 years ago. If I remember rightly, and it's essentially about a meteorite found by NASA under the Arctic ice, which contains a fossil which suggests obviously extraterrestrial life. And basically what the book then goes on to sort of do is to look at that in many different ways through the eyes of scientists and politicians and so on. But it's basically a fictional book, but with a lot of fact in there as well, saying NASA is obviously a real organisation and so on. So obviously in this very short summary, I can't tell you the whole thing. There's a lot of action, a lot of thrills, and a lot of suspense throughout the whole book. So I would suggest this is one of my definitely favourite books. As I say, I do have many other sort of favourite books as well, of many different types.
Hi, it's Miss Bentley. My favourite book is All Creatures Great and Small, one of a series of books by James Herriot, a Yorkshire vet.
I'm here at my local rugby field, Risca Stores Field, which is quite fitting really when I talk about my favourite book, which is Legacy by James Kerr, what the All Blacks can teach us about the business of life. And I think the book really resonates with me first off, not only as a teacher, but as a leader within a school and a team manager of my local senior rugby side. Because it's all about culture and successful leadership, and it makes you think a lot about what you do day to day. But the book itself, it delves deep into the All Black camp, you know, the most successful sporting team in the world, and it provides you with 15 kind of principles of leadership to consider. And it does make you think about the question, what will your legacy be?
One of my all-time favourite books is the Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix book. This was the 5th book in the series. I'd read all of the other books up to this point, and I couldn't wait for this book to come out. I remember queuing up to get this when I was about 15 to make sure I got it straight away. So this is my original hardback copy here. Couldn't wait to read it. Really loved the book. Only took me about 4 days to read it, even though it was a really long book. And I did the same thing then with the 6th and the 7th books, and was so gutted when the series was finished because I enjoyed them so much. So these are some of my favourite books of all time.
I enjoy reading books on my Kindle. I don't have a particularly favourite book, but I do enjoy reading autobiographies by famous sports stars and crime and fiction novels.
Okay, I'm here to tell you about my favourite book of all time, and it's Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I remember being given this when I was completing my A-levels, and it just blew me away. Alright, it's like two opposite ends of the scale. You've got tragedy, sadness, horror on one side, and then lots of humour, lots of life experiences on the other, and it completely changed my whole outlook on A-level English. Thank you.
So hi guys, my favourite book is The Hobbit. It's a book I've been reading since I was in year 7. My father